You know, looking back at my life, I'd probably consider myself pretty lucky. But this kind of luck is ridiculous, even by my standards, the supposed squad leader of the Kirusha said mockingly. Princess Silvani scoffed at him. Not that she could have done any more than that while she was kneeling on the floor, all four hands cuffed behind her back. When we picked up that nonsensical signal, I would have placed my bet on some malfunctioning satellite or something like that. But certainly not a royal vessel of the Vanaori. For a race infamous for being hold-up cowards, you are pretty far out. You are sure proud to have learned our language, considering how much you talk. He was indeed pretty talkative, especially for a Kirusha. Did he really take that much pleasure in taunting her? He had even put his weapon on the ground and was walking up and down in front of her. Not that he couldn't afford it. His companion was still armed in case somebody came in, and everyone else on the bridge was already dead. Out of all the races, they had to run into the Kirusha, who, unlike most, were not only completely deaf to diplomacy, but also some of the most fearsome warriors out there. Their exoskeleton, unlike the soft-shelled Vaeri, was a hard chitin shell that allowed them to take multiple hits from conventional handheld weapons before going down, while their strength allowed them to carry heavy cannons that made short work of normal battle armor. The current situation on the bridge could attest to their fighting prowess. With just the two of them, they had taken out all of her guards, and the rest of the squad was probably searching through the ship right now, finishing off the rest. All she could do was hope that the servants didn't fight back and survive. Let's cut the chase. I'm the one you want, so stop wasting everyone's time. Just take me with you already so you can get your promotion, and my people can return home. They are neither a threat nor of any worth to you, so let them go. The Kirusha stopped walking up and down. No worth? I think you are selling your people short there. Sure, they are not, well, you, but just letting them go for free sounds like a bad trade. He bent down to her. But maybe we can make an arrangement. You see, we both know that this was no navigation error. You had picked up that signal as well, and I'm getting the feeling that it was not just a satellite, was it? Why don't you enlighten me? Maybe it'll make me feel generous. Come on, what are you hiding? Silvani grit her teeth. So this was the choice she had to make. Sell out her servants or sell out the aliens she had just rescued? Both choices were horrible. No, wait, we still have the aliens' escape pod. Even empty, it contains foreign technology and is proof of an unknown species. It should have plenty of worth even on its own. Would they believe me if I claimed it was empty when we found it? Well, worth a try. She is hiding me, a soft voice spoke before she could. The squad leader and his companion turned around, startled that neither of them had heard someone enter. The small alien was standing in the doorway, a telepathic translator around its neck. Why did it come here? Why was it not hiding? Also, for some reason, it seemed to have changed its white shirt for a dark purple one. Had there been spare clothes in the escape pod? An unknown species, the squad leader concluded. He had overcome his surprise rather quickly, and after seeing that it was unarmed, he relaxed again. My, aren't you a cute one? You, bring it to me. The soldier nodded. As he approached it, the alien made a step forward and hugged him? The situation was so strange that neither the soldier nor the squad leader seemed to know how to react. Due to the way the alien had hugged the soldier, not only the torso but the arms as well, and its delicate figure, its arms weren't even able to reach all around his body, with the longest finger on each hand still being a little bit apart. It actually looked kind of adorable. But why did she do it? Judging by her looks, she probably comes from a paradise world. Maybe the concept of conflict is foreign to her species. Hide, Githey whispered to Nadine, who crawled behind the large desk. The doctor then opened the drawer, pulled out a scalpel, and placed herself next to the door. She was no fighter, but depending on who their attackers were, she might have a shot if she surprised them, and she was pretty sure that she only heard one pair of steps. The noise indicated that someone tried to break the lock. Whoever they were no ally. The door opened, and without a second thought, the doctor attacked. A strong hand grabbed her wrist and threw her around. She lost both her knife and her balance and tumbled to the ground, only to feel a heavy step on her thorax. As the whiplash subsided and her vision became clear again, she could see a barrel pointed at her face. And right after that, she realized who was holding it. Shit, it was a Kurosha, which basically meant that the ship was doomed. She immediately opened all her hands and placed them next to her head. This fight was over. All she could hope for now was to be taken as a prisoner, and that he would not find Nadine. Just as she thought that, she saw something next to the soldier's head. It was wheels? Indeed they were. The wheels of her large desk chair. Wheels that it had specifically because one person could not just lift it up easily. Yet there it was upside down, and just a moment later, it came crashing into the Kurosha's back. The soldier couldn't give off more than a pained grunt before he fell flat to the ground, cracks appearing on his hard shell. Behind him, Nadine came into view, who jumped high into the air and onto their attacker. The metal floor vibrated as Nadine landed. The oh-so-hard shell of the insectoid could offer no resistance to the heavy impact that completely betrayed the human's small shape. Her feet basically fell right through him, purple blood splattering in every direction. The Kurosha died on the spot. As Githai desperately tried to comprehend the situation, the guard's word echoed in her auditory hole. And be careful, that thing is heavier than it looks. Could it be? Was it possible that the scales weren't broken? Did she seriously weigh more than 500 Vs? Though it would explain the creaking noise when she stepped on them. As their attacker was no more, Nadine started to shiver and finally slumped to the ground. The doctor shot up. "Are you all right?" I, the girl stammered. I killed someone." Githai wanted to slap herself for thinking about her tests. Sure, killing a Kurosha was an amazing feat, but Nadine was obviously a civilian. She was not used to seeing someone die, on top of that killing them herself. That being said, even though she was a doctor, she had no clue how to treat mental wounds. You didn't really have much of a choice. Don't think about the life you ended, think about the ones you saved. She wasn't sure if that would help her, but Githai had no idea what else to say, so she just sat next to her in silence. After a while, Nadine seemed to calm down. "He would have killed us, right?" "Probably." Nadine took a deep breath. Honestly, the scariest thing is how easy it was. Githai couldn't help but chuckle. "You were lucky. Kurosha are famously hard to kill." Nadine blinked. "Really? But they are insectoid, aren't they?" She went to the corpse, and with a shaking hand, she broke off part of the shell with way too little effort. If the gravity was stronger, he probably couldn't even support his own weight. Githai didn't know what to say to that. Of course, one would die if gravity was too strong. That applied to all races. The Kurosha, on the other hand, could withstand energy weapons to a certain degree. Only projectile weapons could take them out reliably. But those needed to be stationary due to their recoil. Yet these very same Kurosha were weak in Nadine's eyes. "How many do you think there are? Please be honest, Doc." Githai thought for a moment. "Assuming they found us by chance, it should only be one strike team, so 5 in total. Unfortunately, more than enough to take out the guards." "You are certain about that? This ship has no interior battle stations." "So yes, I am sure. We can only hope that they want the princess alive." Nadine seemed to think for a while, then she stood up. "Wait, you can't seriously think about attacking them?" Nadine turned around. She was trembling in fear, but her face showed her determination. "You guys saved me, and if I can help, then I must help, right?" Githai was speechless. That was basically the exact same principle the princess followed. She simply couldn't object to that. "Hey, you had your fun. Now bring it over," the squad leader said, annoyed. But Silgvani noticed something strange. The soldier's hand was a fist and his arms were shaking slightly. Was he trying to break free of this hug, but couldn't? Also, the alien's hands were now a bit closer to each other, and as soon as the tips of its fingers touched, they interlocked, pulling its hands even closer together. A pained grunt escaped the soldier's throat as the hug kept getting tighter. The squad leader just stood there flabbergasted, seemingly unable to comprehend what he was seeing. Not that the princess was any better. How could this seemingly frail creature overpower a Kurosha? The alien's hands now had a tight grip on each other and still kept pulling. The soldier had started to thrash his upper body around, but since his arms were trapped as well, there was little he could do. He couldn't even raise his weapon. The hands were now gripping each other's wrists. The Kryosha screamed in pain, and only a moment later, with a disgusting crunch, his shell gave in to the pressure. The alien let go and the soldier fell to the ground, blood gushing out of the cracks in his shell, his middle squashed down to a diameter that definitely didn't support life. The alien then turned to the squad leader. That seemed to snap him out of it, and he lunged for his weapon, but Silgvani leaped forward and kicked it away. Cursing, the squad leader turned to the alien and punched it. The alien in turn raised its arms to protect its face. With a pained outcry, the squad leader stumbled backward and fell to his knees, holding his hand that looked like he had smashed it into a stone wall. Before he could do anything else, the alien was already behind him, grabbed his scalp and chin, and twisted with so little effort that his head almost came cleanly off, only still connected with a little tissue. Princess Silgvani didn't know what to do except to stare at the alien in front of her, purple blood dripping from its hands and arms, borderless going over into its shirt. It was only then that the princess realized that the alien had in fact not changed clothes.